गोपीजनवल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना यमुनातीरवनचारी यमुनातीरवनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजनवल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना यमुनातीरवनचारी यमुनातीरवनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्रीमद श्री कृष्ण कृपामूर्ति अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील गोपाल की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। संवेद गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमः श्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्ठकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। शृण्वतां स्वकथा कृष्ण पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तन हृदयन्तस्थो भद्राणि विधुनोति सुहृत्सताम्. Hare Krishna. So we welcome everyone who is attending this morning Srimad Bhagavatam class. We are reading from Canto 3, chapter number 7, entitled Further Inquiries by Vidura, and we'll read from text number 36. अनुव्रतानां शिष्याणां पुत्राणां च द्विजोत्तमा अनापृष्टम् अपि ब्रूयुर् गुरवो दीनवत्सलाः अनुव्रतानां शिष्याणां पुत्राणां च द्विजोत्तमा अनापृष्टम् अपि ब्रूयुर् गुरवो दीनवत्सलाः अनुव्रतानां शिष्याणां पुत्राणां च द्विजोत्तमा अनापृष्टम् अपि ब्रूयुर् गुरवो दीनवत्सलाः अनुव्रतानां शिष्याणां पुत्राणां च द्विजोत्तमा अनुव्रतानां शिष्याणां पुत्राणां च द्विजोत्तमा अनापृष्टम् अपि ब्रूयुर् गुरवो दीनवत्सलाः अनुव्रतानां शिष्याणां पुत्राणां च द्विजोत्तमा अनापृष्टम् अपि ब्रूयुर् गुरवो दीनवत्सलाः. माताजी. अनुव्रतानां शिष्याणां पुत्राणां च द्विजोत्तमा अनापृष्टम् अपि ब्रूयुर् गुरवो दीनवत्सलाः. अनुव्रतानां शिष्याणां पुत्राणां च द्विजोत्तमा अनापृष्टम् अपि ब्रूयुर् गुरवो दीनवत्सलाः. Word for word meaning, translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Anuvratanam, the followers, Shishyanam, of the disciples, Putranam, of the sons, Cha, also, Dvija Uttama, O best amongst the Brahmanas, Anaprishtam, that which is not asked for, Api, in spite of, Bruyuhu, please describe, Guravaha, the spiritual masters, Dina Vatsalah, who are kind to the needy. Translation. O best among the Brahmanas, those who are spiritual masters are very kind to the needy. They are always kind to their followers, disciples, and sons. And without being asked by them, the spiritual master describes all that is knowledge. Purport. There are many subjects to be known from the bona fide spiritual master. The followers, disciples, and sons are all on one level for the bona fide spiritual master. And he is always kind to them and always speaks to them on transcendental subjects, even though he is not asked by them. That is the nature of the bona fide spiritual master. Vidura appealed to Maitreya Muni to speak on subjects about which he might not have asked. Om Ajnantimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desitarne. Hare Krishna. Anuvratanam Shishyanam Putranam Chadvijottama Anaprishtam Api Bruyur Guruvo Dinavatsala. O best among the Brahmanas, those who are spiritual masters are very kind to the needy. They are always kind to their followers, disciples and sons. And without being asked by them, the spiritual master describes all that is knowledge. So here in this chapter, which is entitled Further Inquiries by Vidura, so we are coming to the conclusion of the various questions, many questions that Vidura asked about the Lord, His creation, and many subject matters which have been discussed earlier, so we will not repeat them again. In this verse, now he is requesting Maitreya Rishi to not just reply his inquiries, specific inquiries, but also answer or speak on those subjects which he may have not made any specific inquiry. So here he is requesting to show kindness, as is the nature of the spiritual master. He says, Guruvo Dina Vatsala. And this is a very important verse. Somehow the purport is very small, but the meaning is very deep. So I am not sure if I will be able to do sufficient justice to this verse. So my hope is the blessings of all the devotees here, so I can speak something about on this verse. So there are very important points that are, that come out from this verse. Some of them that I could understand. Here we see that Vidura, in this verse, he is making an appeal. And he is invoking Guru's merciful nature. He says that it is the nature of Guru to be Dina Vatsala. And then, he is asking to show kindness upon needy. And then he says that Guru is equal to everyone. Followers, disciples, sons. So, we don't know whether Vidura was his formal disciple, Maitreya Rishi. But here he is saying that anyone who makes submissive inquiry to the spiritual master, so it is the nature of the spiritual master to show kindness. So we know from this third canto, when it started, that Vidura, he, on his journey to different holy places, on the plea of not participating in the Mahabharat war. In fact, it was not his plea, but he was removed from Hastinapur in a very dishonorable way by the Duryodhan. And so, on his tour to all the different holy places, he comes to Vrindavan and there he meets Uddhav. And from Uddhav he inquires about the welfare of all the Dwarkavasis, specifically asks about Lord Krishna. And Uddhav relates everything. We have read all of those and we have heard different speakers speak on that subject. And then he was informed by Uddhavji that while the Lord was departing, he remembered you. And he has given many instructions, very important instructions. And when Vidura inquired, Uddhav, out of etiquette, he said that Maitreya Rishi was also there, hearing those instructions. So, you inquire from Maitreya Rishi. So then Vidura comes to Haridwar, and then on the banks of the sacred river Ganga, he meets Maitreya Rishi and he is inquiring. So, here in this verse he is saying, so there are numerous questions that he asks, and then here he is making an appeal that please answer all these questions, and I may have missed some subject matters, important subject matters from asking. So you please answer all of them. So from this appeal we can understand that Vidura is actually exhibiting his great humility. He is admitting that his inquiry may not have been complete, that he may not have asked everything which is worthy of inquiry. So, if there is any incompleteness, so you please fulfill it. So, no matter how qualified a person may be, but still, there can be some shortcomings. And so, really knowledgeable person always knows that there is much more to still know. And we see that here, by this appeal, he is invoking the Guru's merciful nature. Prabhupada writes in the purport that it is the nature of the spiritual masters to show kindness. So Vidura is submitting as a disciple to Vidura. Vidura is submitting himself as a disciple to Maitreya Rishi and requesting him to show kindness towards him. We all know who Vidura is, right? Vidura is not an ordinary person. He is one of the Lokpalas. He is also one of the Mahajans. He is actually completely aware of Bhagavad Dharma. He is Dharmaraj, Dharma himself. So, he is aware of these subject matters, but still, we all know that, or rather we should understand that the more one knows, the more he knows that there is so much more to learn. And that is what Vidura is exhibiting here. That he is so much knowledgeable that he is aware that there are still more things that I can learn. And so, he is making this inquiry. We find in this world that many people, they actually think themselves knowledgeable. And that so-called learning and knowledge that they have actually makes them ignorance. And ignorance is nothing but a sign of ignorance. Arrogance is nothing but a sign of ignorance. Yeah. So, it is that ignorance which makes that person feel that he knows so much. And he starts exhibiting arrogance. But here we see the opposite in the behavior of Vidura. And he is saying that it is the nature of Guru. Guruvo Dina Vatsala. So, we read from the Bhagavad Gita, Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshina. That there are these three very important qualities that the disciple exhibits, which invokes the mercy of Guru. So with humility and submission, the disciple comes to Guru to learn the truth, inquires from him submissively and renders service unto him. And the self-realized soul can impart knowledge unto such a person because he has seen the truth. So these three things are very important for a disciple to have. Pranipat, submission, which is nothing but an exhibition of his faith. You can't submit yourself to someone whom you don't have faith or trust on. And then he also submissively inquires the desire to receive knowledge. So he is aware that I have deficiencies and those deficiencies have to be filled up. And that is by this knowledge that I can receive from the spiritual master or Guru. And sevaya, that is to serve humbly. So we see that there are these three principles that we learn from Srimad Bhagavatam. In the first canto itself it is mentioned that Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janayati Asu Vairagyam Jnanam Chayad Ahetukam. Ordinarily in this world, people are not behind or people are not searching for spiritual knowledge. They are searching for some material comforts and happiness on the sensory level. But then those who become interested in spirituality, so they are either too much inclined to just accumulating so much knowledge, information crunching they say, or data accumulation, data aggregation, right? So we are just collecting so much books, so much knowledge, so much information. Or then a person becomes very much detached or goes towards renunciation or giving up everything. So in spiritual circles we see these are the two things which come out very prominent. Either someone is a very great jnani just after knowledge, or renunciant, showing complete renunciation or giving up things. But Srimad Bhagavatam mentions that both these things are not complete in themselves, because too much knowledge can give rise to arrogance, and just renunciation or detachment can make one's heart very hard. So both of these need to be balanced, and in and of themselves they really don't give satisfaction or happiness to the heart, to the soul. Both these things people are endeavoring so hard to gain, the process itself is so troublesome. But if a person engages in bhakti or devotion to the Lord, these two results are automatically achieved. Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janayati Asu, very easily, Vairagyam Jnanam Chayad Ahaitukam. So, I was hearing one class from of Radhesham Prabhu. She was mentioning that, to have a steady progress in spiritual life, we need a balance of these three components: faith, knowledge, and detachment. And these three should be balanced like an equilateral triangle. So, he was mentioning that, how if a person has only faith but lacks in knowledge or sufficient amount of detachment, then that can lead to blind following or worst, fanaticism. On the other hand, a person may have so much knowledge but not sufficient faith or detachment. Then a person can actually become so arrogant and rude and insensitive. And if there is only detachment, then that can lead to hard-heartedness, and it is fruitless, because at some point of time that detachment also goes away and a person again comes back to the material platform of enjoyment. Aruhya krishrena param padam tatha patanti adho anadruta yushmadangraya. So, we need balance of all these three. And that is what in the Bhagavad Gita itself, Lord Krishna is saying that when we have these three principles in equal proportions, submission, inquiry to get transcendental knowledge, and the tendency to serve. So that is the real detachment, is detachment from the tendency for sense gratification and attachment to serve without any motives. So here we see that Vidura is actually exhibiting this perfect balance. He is showing this trust and faith in Maitreya Rishi. He is knowledgeable, but still he is inquiring and seeking his mercy or his blessings to answer all his questions. And it is the nature of Guru that he is Deena Vatsala. He is very much concerned about the highest welfare of the disciple or the follower. Sometimes, even when the disciple may not be interested or concerned about his own welfare. Many times we see that people, they think of having a guru as some kind of a status symbol. That, oh, we attend these classes. So that's like a status symbol in a society. That, oh yeah, you are connected to this person or this guru. So disciple may be ignorant about what he or she should be seeking from the spiritual master, but the guru, he is always aware and he is concerned about giving the highest welfare to the disciple. Many times, we see from Srila Prabhupada's anecdotes that people approach Srila Prabhupada that please give your blessings. So in their mind, they have blessings in terms of prosperity or happy life, lot of wealth, a good wife, children, stability. And knowing it very well, Prabhupada also said, see, my blessings will bring you this, showing his Western disciples, they are, give up everything and practicing bhakti. Many of them became, renunciants. So do you want this kind of blessing? And the person goes away. So, many times, this, or most of the times, the disciple actually doesn't know what is his welfare. Even in terms of services, sometimes we think that this service, I will get something out of it. But actually, the only thing that really comes from service is humility, the sense of complete submission towards the Lord, and more service. So, Guru acts like an interventionist or intervener in the life of a disciple. A disciple has a conception and is wanting something, mostly in terms of Kanak Kamini or Pratishtha. Sometimes from service we also seek Pratishtha, that some kind of, oh yes, I have done this service. But Guru, actually he comes like an intervener, from what we are desiring, but he has a different thing in his mind. He wants to bring us at the shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, to actually completely, submit ourselves with great humility. And therefore, in Guru Puja also we sing that Guru gives chakshu, chakshudan dilo jai, janme janme prabhu sei, divya gyan hriday prakashito. So the kindness of Guru is not to give blessings that, you have good health or good wealth. No, the real blessing, the real kindness of Guru is to give transcendental knowledge, to give the knowledge of what is our relationship with the Lord, sambandha, to give us opportunities to serve the Lord. Chaturvidha Shri Bhagavat Prasado and Shringaratan Mandir Marjanado. So we hear this, that he gives opportunities to associate with devotees, to serve the Lord in his form as a Archa Vigraha, right? So, Guru, in different ways, in very innovative ways, he intervenes in the life of a disciple. And sometimes that intervention also is, at his own risk of his own, honor, or even at the cost of being misunderstood. And we see that example in Srimad Bhagavatam, Narad Muni intervenes in the lives of his prospective disciples, the Haryashvas and Shavalashvas, the sons of Daksha. They were going for austerities, for happy material life as per the desire of their fathers, Daksha. But Narad Muni, seeing that they are so potential devotees and they can immediately go back to Godhead, he intervenes. And even at the cost of not just getting misunderstood, but even attacked, cursed. Daksha actually curses Narad Muni, and if we see those verses, he is actually blaspheming Narad Muni so much that you are an impostor and that you are misleading these simple, innocent boys of mine, and you are creating havoc in the society. So many different ways he actually blames Narad Muni, dishonors him, and even curses him. So this is the risk that the Guru takes to bring that intervention. Again, in the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna says that that Guru or Sadhu, they are Deenavatsala because they can change the course of life of a person. So they are the only people who can give real blessings. And he contrasts with the Devatas. He says, Bhajanti yatha devan devantena tathevatan. Chayeva karma sachiva sadhavo deenavatsala. So the demigods, the Devatas, who are great souls, who are also devotees of the Lord, but in their administrative roles, when approached like that, they can only act like secretaries of our karma. Based on what karma a person has performed and how much the person deserves, the Devatas give blessings accordingly. But they don't change the course of the life of that person. But a sadhu, a guru, he is Deenavatsala. He can actually change the course of the life of the person. So that is the Deenavatsala nature of Guru. And as we mentioned that Guru shows kindness in very innovative ways. And here, as Vidura is saying, Anaprishtam api bruyat. Even unasked, you please enlighten me. So, even without being asked, the Guru bestows transcendental knowledge on the disciple or the follower. Or, as he mentions here, the sons, includes daughters also. So, there are many examples also in Srimad Bhagavatam, especially from the life of Narad Muni and activities of Narad Muni. And we see, on the pretext of, giving Dhruva a process by which he can gain a kingdom bigger than his great-grandfather, Brahma, he gives him a process by which actually he conquers the heart of Lord Vishnu. Forget about any kingdom of this world. He captures or he receives the most precious kingdom of the heart of the Lord. The Lord actually manifests in front of him. And when he appears, Dhruva actually understands, oh, what have I got? What did I go out for asking? And what have I got from Narad Muni? Kacham vichinvan api divya ratnam. I was searching for pieces of glass, but here I have got the most precious jewel. So he says, I am satisfied. I don't want anything. Varam nahi aache. So, this is the innovation of Guru, or the kindness, the merciful nature of Guru. Gives that which is not even asked, but which is of the highest value to anyone, especially to the disciple that he is giving. Various examples, Valmiki Rishi, who was previously a hunter, he did not go out asking, or he was a dacoit. He was not asking for anything, but Narad Muni comes and blesses him. And here he becomes author of the great epic Ramayana. Prachin Barhishat, we see. So many numerous examples. And as we mentioned, sometimes even at the cost of being misunderstood, the Guru shows kindness. So when Hiranyakashipu, he went for austerities, and Indra, he abducted Kayadu, who was pregnant with the child of Hiranyakashipu. And when Kayadu, very piteously, she is crying for her safety, generally crying for safety and even appealing to those demigods that they should not harm her. But nonetheless, they were just dragging. And that time, Narad Muni appears. And he not only just saves or rescues her, but gives her complete protection and safety. How? By taking her to his own ashram. And this is very surprising, because Narad Muni is a renunciate, a brahmachari. And here, even at the risk of being misunderstood by the society, by the world, he is giving her shelter in his own ashram. So, Narad Muni is vulnerable in the sense of how society will see his action. Kayadhu is vulnerable because she was actually in that helpless condition and maybe fearing even her own death or the safety of the child. But not caring for his vulnerability, he actually relieves her completely. She is not just fearless after receiving shelter of Narad Muni, but she becomes so peaceful that it is mentioned when Prahlad Maharaj is relating this to his demon friends, that how did you get all this knowledge? And he relates this whole, the series of events. And he says, my mother became so devoted to Narad Muni that she actually started serving him with great devotion. And so, that shows that she was not just fearless or peaceful, but she was positively affected by Narad Muni. And Narad Muni gives her instructions. And those instructions are really meant for Prahlad, who does not even know what's happening, who is not even born. So there is no question of his asking anything. Anaprishtam api bruyat. So he empowers Prahlad Maharaj with his instructions to such an extent that without even having a face-to-face meeting with the Guru ever, he receives so much blessings and empowerment from Narad Muni that he becomes the cause of invoking a most, exciting and powerful incarnation of Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna, in the form of Mahavatar Narasimha. Right? So, we can imagine that how in various ways, in very innovative ways, in ways which generally people cannot understand, or inconceivable ways, the Guru, bestows his kindness and blessings. And all this, from Prahlad's perspective, he had never asked any of this. And now, what's happening? That Prahlad, by his simple but firm faith and devotion, he is, not just becoming the cause of having that incarnation of Narasimha, but along with the glory of Narasimha, eternally he is also glorified alongside Narasimha. You can never say Jai Narasimha without Jai Prahlad Maharaj, isn't it? So, this is how, the Guru, a bona fide spiritual master, bestows his kindness. And the last point that we will discuss is that, how in this verse it is mentioned that Anuvratanam Shishyanam Putranam Cha Dvijottama. So, the Guru is equal to everyone, whether the person is just a follower, not a formal disciple, or formal disciples, or even his own sons or daughters. So he does not discriminate based on any material qualifications or disqualifications, that, oh, this person is very important, so let me spend time with him. And that person, is a student, so he can wait. No. The Guru is equally disposed, and his blessings come equally to everyone. Many years back, I had an opportunity with my elder brother, so he had some questions to ask, and he wanted to seek some blessings from his Guru, His Holiness Radhanath Swami, my Guru also. So we met somewhere, and he asked Maharaj, please bless me. So Maharaj said, blessings are always there. It is up to you how much you receive. So the blessings of Guru equally fall on everyone. Just like the rain showers. So now this is monsoon season and we are all experiencing rain showers. So when the rain showers from the clouds, it equally falls everywhere. We have a salt ocean not very far from here. So in that salt water also the fresh rainwater falls. It falls on the sand, it falls on reservoirs of sweet water, so that supplies water to the city of Bombay throughout the year. It falls on rocks. It falls on the roofs and then goes in the gutter. Right? So, when the water is getting showered, it does not discriminate where to fall more, where to fall less. So, similarly, Guru's instructions are carrying equal potency of enlightenment to everyone. But it is up to the disciple, how fertile or ready the heart of the disciple is, that the seeds of bhakti will actually grow and flourish. And that is these three things, the triangle. Submission, with great faith, inquiring the right kind of things, transcendental knowledge, and detachment by not being attached to just personal gratification, but always disposed to render service. So when we have this balance, then we can see that the devotion can flourish in the heart with whatever instructions we have received from the spiritual master. And for that, the spiritual master sometimes does not even have to be physically present. But the disciple can still benefit. So, how do we attract that blessings or mercy of Guru? And that is, as Srila Prabhupada also mentions in the purport, one of the purports of Srimad Bhagavatam, we need just three things: sincerity, seriousness, and free from any ulterior motives. So, understanding this from this very beautiful verse where Vidura is appealing to Maitreya Rishi that, O best among the Brahmanas, those who are spiritual masters are very kind to the needy. They are always kind to their followers, disciples and sons. And without being asked by them, spiritual masters describes all that is knowledge. So we are very fortunate that by the blessings of the Guru Parampara, Srila Prabhupada, we have received this opportunity to know the real goal of life. And not just to know that, but also have the process which can effectively give us that goal or help us reach that goal. So we can all pray that we can become such sincere, serious and free of ulterior motive followers, disciples or sons of daughters of our Guru, so that the Guru's mercy can manifest in our life, and it can manifest in incredible ways. We know, as we mentioned, that sometimes even the Guru does not have to be physically present for that. Many times, especially in our society, some disciples may feel that we never get the association or, opportunity to meet the Guru. But if we see the life of Srila Prabhupada, how many times he met his Guru? We hear this, right? And we see that when Srila Prabhupada, in his endeavor to spread the teachings of Lord Chaitanya as instructed by his Guru, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, he was printing those 2-page, 4-page newsletters and distributing. And one person on some shop, he told Prabhupada, what is the use of this 4-page newsletter, print book that will remain? People read and they throw away these such newsletters, print book. And Prabhupada, he reflects and he writes that my spiritual master gave me this instruction through this person to write books. So, as we mentioned, that it is up to us how much are we eager to receive the mercy, and the mercy manifests. And it can manifest in inconceivable ways. And the testimony is again Srimad Bhagavatam 11th canto. Lord Krishna is speaking to Uddhav, and the first instructions that he gives in the Uddhav Gita is the narration of Avadhut Brahman's 24 Gurus. And who were those Gurus? Ordinary objects that we see around us always. Some living entities like pigeons, wasp, snake, python. Or even sometimes people like the Pingala prostitute or a small child. So in so many ways, Avadhut Brahman says, these are all my Gurus and I have learned so many lessons, valuable lessons from them. So I was doing some, kind of a course on that, and we could see that there were almost 64 lessons from those 24 gurus, or 25 gurus rather. The last guru, he says, is our own human body. We can learn so many things from this human body. So the point is that it is not the lack of mercy that is flowing from Guru, but it is many times the lack of our readiness to receive, capture, and nourish ourselves with that mercy. So let us pray that we may be blessed with this 3 triangles, equilateral, sufficient faith, knowledge, transcendental knowledge, and service attitude with detachment, and we become sincere, serious, and free of ulterior motives. And then, even without being asked, the mercy of the spiritual master will flow in our life, and we will receive that wealth which we may have not even imagined that we could receive. And that is pure devotional service towards Shri Shri Radha Gopinath. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. There is hardly 1 or 2 minutes. So I don't know if there is any question. We can take one. Otherwise, we'll complete our class here. Hare Krishna. श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय. श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय.
ओम ब्रह्मदेवाय नमः।
तुम निसंदेही महाबलशाली हो।
मेरे भाई का हत्यारा आज भी जीवित है।
यदि विष्णु से लड़ना है, ब्रह्मदेव की उपासना करो।
ब्रह्मदेवाय नमः।
हिरण्यकश्यपु, मांगो, क्या वर मांगना चाहते हो?
सब कुछ। हे ब्रह्मदेव, मुझे वरदान दीजिए कि आपकी रचना से जन्मे इस सृष्टि के किसी भी जीव से मेरा वध ना हो। न मैं दिन में मरूं और न रात में। मेरी मृत्यु न घर के भीतर हो और न घर के बाहर। न अस्त्र से, न शस्त्र से, न सजीव से, न निर्जीव से।
अंधकार जब हद से बढ़ जाता है, वहाँ प्रकाश का पुनर्जन्म होता है।
प्रहलाद, माँ, मैं तब तक भगवान विष्णु का गुणगान करता रहूंगा जब तक सारे भक्त मुक्त न हो जाएं। एक नाम से सबकी मुक्ति है।
पुत्र, विष्णु का परित्याग कर।
मैं भगवान विष्णु को अपना शत्रु कदापि नहीं मानता।
भगवान को छोड़ दो।
मैं प्रहलाद को मृत्यु दंड देता हूँ।
हम असुर हैं, असुर। ये सब तुच्छ खेल हमारे गुरुकुल में शोभा नहीं देता है।
वे जैसा चाहे वैसा मेरे साथ कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि वे हर परिस्थिति में मेरे स्वामी हैं।
तो बुलाओ सर, आज ये निर्णय हो जाए कि हम दोनों के बीच गीदड़ कौन है और सिंह कौन है।